Hey guys, I did another update from my server manager and I updated the GUI so it can be a little more friendly, user-friendly, but I wanted to kind of walk you through a couple of parts and updates. So I made a new folder and I moved the RAR folder into that and extracted it so that all the files are here. If when you're extracting and you try to start the launcher through the exe disappears or is flagged, you can run the script. And if you want to check out the script, it has everything. You can just right click, press edit, and you'll be able to see it. If you already have the Java installed and JDK, then you can just double click the file and it'll open. But the launcher is made so that if you don't have Java and the correct version of JDK, then it will prompt you to download the correct ones. When using the server manager, I just wanted to go over this quick fact. When you create a new server, it will ask you for a location and your packed data. Remember that your packed data comes from Content Manager, and my first video on my channel should cover that. I'm going to quickly load a test server so I can show you the updated changes. One notable aspect is that everything has been organized more deeply with tabs so that it doesn't take up the whole screen and that the launcher can be used on smaller screened devices. Also, something I want to point out, you need to have an admin password, and the admin password must be longer than 8 characters or else the server just won't start in general. Following this, there's different tabs, which are the usual settings. I put the network settings in a different tab, and the main change, what I wanted to show you, is from tracks. I've made it so that you can see what track you have more easily, and if you have multiple tracks in the server, you can swap between the tracks and the layouts with this drop-down menu. From here, you can choose a different layout, and then click the button Load Track and Layout from Server, and that will automatically change the layout. If you want to change the track completely, use the Add Track to Server button, and that will open up a new GUI with all your tracks that are in your Assetto root folder. From here, you can choose a track and then choose its specific layout. The layout is highlighted when it's in yellow. Once you're done, just click Add Track to Server. Whenever adding a new track into the server will recognize it and show the track is there. Once you want to edit the AI settings, click Open AI Settings. From here, it will show you what AI is already in the map layout. So whichever layout you're using, select that one. And then if it has AI, select Add AI from Layout button, and that'll copy it from that folder into the AI track folder. It's a specific AI folder that's there, and if you need to make it, it'll make it automatically for you. If you already have it, it'll just move the files. If you want to change the AI for a different layout, just use the drop-down menu, remove the old one, and then add a new AI from the layout. If you want to see the AI settings, press this button and it'll open up the folder. And if you want to update the CSP, just press this button. Moving on from this, I gave the description and weather its own tab. Going to the extras config, I've organized it so that it's more easily readable. And if you hover over items, you can see the tooltip and it'll explain exactly what the parameter is used for. If you want to use the DLC ownership or the enables plugin, just delete the brackets and put in whatever you want. If you don't want it, just use the checkbox and it'll automatically add those brackets, and that's necessary for the server to run. If your server is always at night, disable lock server date and enable real time, because that makes it so that it's either always day or always night for too long and you can't edit it. Moving on to the entry list tab, I updated the way you add cars with this. With this, you'll be able to see all the cars from your Assetto root folder. You can also load from custom locations by doing File and then Load from custom locations. If you don't already have your Assetto root folder, just do Select root folder. From here, you'll be able to select the car and see the actual image of the car. You can also use the search aspect to find a specific car that you're looking for, and when you add it onto the list, it will highlight the car that you've added in green. Another aspect of this is you'll be able to determine what cars are locked before you put them into your server. To do this, on the bottom right, click off the locked car checker. This is going to freeze the program because it's going through all your cars, making a copy of specific files to check to see if it's locked or if it's not. I'm doing this because I don't want to touch the Assetto root folder cars, and make changes and mess anything up, as I've learned the hard way. That's not a good way to do that, so it's making copies. The car checker and all its files are located in whichever folder is in the manager. Again, it will take time. Once it's done, all the cars that are highlighted in red are locked and not able to be put into the server. This is not 100% certain, but it is 80% certain, and at least it gives you a little idea as to what not to put into the server. There are other aspects as well, like if you click on a car, you can open its car folder, you can remove the car from the list, and once you're finalized, just click Add Cars to Server. If you did the car checker and you do Add Car to Server, you're going to have to wait until the files are deleted. Windows has a hard time deleting a large amount of files, so until I find a better way, this robust approach is going to be a little slower, but it does work. Once the application finishes downloading any cars that have been checked, any duplicate cars will be shown on this screen, and everything else has remained the same. In CSP Extra Options, I've spruced it up a little, dividing it into sections so it's easy to see and it's not so clumped up. If you have the settings, you can edit them. If you don't have the settings, you could add them in, and then you can edit them. I've left the teleporting and portals rather the same, so it should be very straightforward on how to add and remove, and again, this has been done in a previous video. In auto install and car packs, you need to pick your Assetto Corsa folder and pick your zip output folder. This is going to be the location where all your zips are. The drop-down menu allows you to select all the cars in your selected server so that you can zip them individually. And to create a car pack is to have all your cars, driver and traffic, in one big zip. Creating a driver car pack will have all your driver cars in one zip, and a traffic car pack will do the same, but for traffic cars. If you want to have individual cars zipped for the driver cars for the server, you can press the Create Separate Driver Car Zip for auto install, and for the traffic cars, if you want them to be individual, just click that button. If you have multiple servers, the multi-server auto install is a massive feature. First, go to where your servers are installed, and from here you'll be able to add the servers into the server selected list. This will show your driver cars and traffic cars, and color coordinate them per server. After adding another server, you'll be able to see the unique cars of each server and the shared cars of each server via driver and traffic cars. The ones that are grouped together in purple go to FDR server, and the ones that are grouped together in the green go to the other server. The ones that have shared colors belong to both. Doing this will save massive amounts of space when auto installing, because if you want to have a car pack for all of your cars, if you want to list out all of your cars and they have duplicate cars, you want to be able to combine those so you save space when uploading. When you want to zip your cars, press this button and then specify where you want the output to be. The output is going to be in folders, so just specify a location. I'm going to put where the server manager is located and make a new folder called cars, and then save it there. And we're going to check on the process afterwards because it's going to take a little time. The car editing tab is mostly the same. I haven't been able to change much. I'm trying to find the specific script for packing an ACD file, and when I do, I'll be able to implement it. In order to see car data, you can press the Open Car Data button, and they'll ask you to unpack it, or it'll take you straight to the actual unpacked file, which is this, so you can see all the data which is in the car. I'm working on a way to edit all of this. It's just going to take time, and it'll be in the future updates. I don't know if I've explained this aspect, but the drop-down menu on the bottom is to show any servers that you have in the nearby folder or in the folder directory of the parent. So it makes it easy to switch from server to server just by pressing the load button, and then if you wanted to switch back to the server, you would press the drop-down menu, click the server you want to switch to, and then press the load button. That way you can conveniently switch between server and server. Going back to the zipping process, you'll notice as it zips, it's going to create a folder with the server name of the unique cars from that specific folder. That's to help you organize, and when you finish zipping all the cars, you can drag all of them into Mega and then create individual links so that you could auto install from those specific servers. You'll find all the files are finished, nicely organized here. So I think that's all the updates for now. I don't know if I forgot anything, but I'm working on implementing new things. If you have any suggestions for new features, let me know in the comment sections. If you're having troubles, let me know. I'll try to explain things and put it into writing. And on my Git, there's a help page or wiki that you can use in case you need any more instructions.